Hey everybody, it's Twin Soul Poets. We are your go-to couple for love and relationship advice.
Dope spoken word poetry.
And uplifting content.
Has sex with your partner started to feel more like a chore rather than something that you look forward to?
Or maybe you're having a lot of sex, but you're missing that feeling of real intimacy or connection.
Do you get the feeling that there's more to sex and intimacy than we've been told?
Are you interested and intrigued by the deeper spiritual side of sex, the true potential of making love rather than just effing?
Effing?
I want to maintain the integrity of our ads on here.
Oh, that's fair. Okay. If you have answered yes to any of these questions, then this video is for you. Let's get into it.
Ingrid and I have always had this belief that there's so much more to sex and the potential and the sexual union than the typical version of sex that is kind of sold to us by Western society, and especially like today's society.
And not only are we often being fed this watered down version of sex and sexuality, sometimes it's to our detriment. You know, when you have certain cultures, you have things like pornography, which can become addictive or which can like perpetuate negative images and ideals and self-images about sex and sexuality. It actually does us a disservice.
When we think about the ideas of like sexual energy being intrinsically linked to your creative energy and the deeper spiritual sides of that union, what is that energetic bonds that are being created from that physical act of coming together? There's so much to explore. There's so much that has not been taught to us. And I think that we miss out on as really like our true potential, not just in the bedroom, but like in life, the way that these teachings and ideas spill over into overall empowerment in life, of living life to your fullest potential.
I agree, because like if you look at other cultures, many of them, especially like native cultures and cultures that we would consider to be like ancient cultures, you'll find that they did not separate or compartmentalize their sexual selves and their sexuality from the rest of life. Everything touched everything. And I think as we've begun to explore that, we have found how true that is. And it seems like what we are taught in the West about sex and sexuality is just like the tip of the iceberg, that is just like this big, you know, like endless thing to explore. And every time we think we've reached this, like, you know, end, there's like something more, and there's something deeper, and there's something more expansive. And it's almost like this journey into yourself and into each other that just is fathomless. And so we wanted to just share that with you. Also stay tuned, because towards the end of this video, we're gonna share a really exciting connection that we made that took us another level deeper. So we're on this exploration and this mission to learn more about how we can be empowered in our sexual selves and how that can also impact us in our everyday lives.
That interest in learning about these things has led us to some really fascinating teachers like David Data, who talks about, really dives deep, especially for men, and how to harness and utilize your sexual energy and really your power, and as a way to like increase your ability to create the life you want and to have success in your any kind of adventure that you're getting into, whether it's making money and things. Not many people realize that one of the most famous books ever, Think and Grow Rich, has an entire chapter on sexual transmutation. You know, learning how to harness your sexual, which they also say is the same as your creative energy, and instead of wasting that or just sort of falling prey to just the physicalization of like releasing that energy, like how do I actually move that energy throughout my entire body and use it almost as like a steam powered engine to create the things that I want to create in my life. Really fascinating stuff.
Yeah, and for women, I think a lot of women, it would be making more space for sexual energy through processes like de-armoring, which is like, you know, actually a physical process of releasing trauma, releasing pain, releasing old residual energy from the body so that you can become more open to the flow of sexual energy. So it's just this fascinating journey to go on. And so we wanted to make that a part of our channel because we focus on love and relationships, creating deep soulful love in your life, and sexuality is a big inherent part of that. Yes. And I think many people get into challenges in relationships in the sexual arena.
Yes.
And so if we can share things that can empower people, that can give them a sense of excitement about their sexual journey, that can free them from all of these, expectations, and sometimes religious expectations and cultural expectations, and to really be able to explore in a safe and free way, like, we are so excited to do that.
Yeah, and some of the most powerful and profound books that we've ever read have been things like on this kind of subject, books about a practice called kareza that is like explaining a whole nother version of sex that's very like
Totally
actively avoiding orgasm, and all about like slow movement and stillness even, and really being present with your partner, and the things that opens up in the experience, that which can really lead to, like, honestly, much more enjoyable intimacy. It's like totally flipping the idea of sex on its head.
One thing I'm really excited about is this process that we went through, that we're going to share with you, is geared towards men, but benefits anyone. So I did this process with Hamilton. I benefited too as a woman, like, learning from this process myself and being present with him through it. It was fascinating. And so I'm really excited, because we also love our male and men viewers here, because it's a really important part of our community. So we're really excited to share this and share something that, as we said in our thumbnail, like, a lot of men don't know this. A lot of men just don't know about this, and same to go for women. Like, so many people don't know about these different approaches to sex, and we want to help change that. We want to help people be inspired to try something new, and there's so many levels. I think once we started to explore it, the awareness that increases, the sensitivity, the appreciation of stillness, the appreciation, and how you become so much more sensitive.
Yeah.
And I think even for men, I'm sure Hamilton will talk about this, the ability to be present so much longer in a sexual situation than you normally would.
And how many men even know that, like, you can experience orgasm without ejaculation, that you can have energetic like heart-centered orgasms, which is something I experienced after doing this course that Ingrid mentioned, and it was incredible. I'd never experienced anything like that before, but it was such a powerful and really felt amazing. But it was so much different than anything I'd ever experienced, and in a great way, like in a really great way. And so, I think just the lack of education and the lack of, like, exposure to these ideas, which have been around for thousands of years.
Right, it's nothing new. Yeah. But it's just something that's not been prioritized, especially in our culture. And I think, what if we were teaching this to young people? What if this was the introduction to sex? Not something that was really mechanical, or something you shouldn't do, or something that's dangerous. But it's like, if some of these things were taught, I think things like sexual assaults, things like pregnancies and all, would naturally dissipate. And there's examples around the world of where cultures are much more open with sex and actually have a lot less occurrences of those types of things, because it's not a taboo, because it's something that is embraced and accepted rather than shunned or shameful.
It's so needed, and it really is the type of thing that could literally, like, transform the world if it was put out there more. So let's talk about exactly what this course is.
Yes.
So Ingrid mentioned this course that we recently were blessed with the opportunity to take. A teacher who primarily is coming from a Taoist background. Taoist principles and explorations of the deeper power of sex have been around for thousands of years. And Jade Lotus is an amazing teacher in the UK who has been taught and is now teaching and sharing these principles in really amazing online courses. And she reached out to us via Instagram and shared this course with us called From Lover to Super Lover, which is, as Ingrid mentioned, primarily geared towards men.
But beneficial to anybody.
Yes, but was super powerful for us to go through together, and just be able to learn and expand some really, what we love about it is that in our private coaching, when we are coaching people on how to manifest deep soulful love into their lives,
link below.
Link is below, as always. We love to make our coaching practical, and that we will talk about concepts and share ideas of how to implement things into your life, but we also always like to include in our sessions a practical exercise of some shape or form to where we're actually going to put it into practice right now in the moment and activate it, really bring it into the moment. This course is like that. It's very practical. Not only is it sharing some of these ideas, one of the things I loved about it was the specificity of certain like step-by-step techniques that actually really help in assisting to open up your partner to really like get the energy, the love energy flowing to create a safe space and a really beautiful space for intimacy and real connection. And it works. Fellas, it works.
It be working though. It do be working though.
Bro, like really.
It do be working though. And as a woman doing this course alongside of Hamilton, I had so many powerful like aha moments. I felt very seen and validated because there were things that she would be explaining to a man who'd be taking the course about a woman's experience, about how to approach and to open up a woman. She's talking about the average woman will take about 45 minutes to truly be ready for like penetrative sex. And so much of our culture is rushed. So much of what we see in the media and on movies and in pornography, and it's anything but that. And to hear those things, it was just like mic drop after mic drop that for me felt very validating and powerful to hear. And I do want to mention that she also does have courses for women to, how to open up their male partners. And of course, she talks about men and women, but this could be beneficial to anyone, regardless of how you identify. This is the way she chooses to work, and it resonated with us for sure, but I think anyone could benefit from these kind of mindful practices. But if you were to even consider this course with a partner, you could do it on your own as a guy, but you could always do it with your partner. And I found that to be super powerful and really affirming to myself and to us when we came together and got to try them. It was awesome. Yeah.
And I want to share another thing that was probably one of the most powerful things that I got out of it was some of the inner realizations that I had tied up in. Like a lot of the early chapters of the course are really exploring, like, do you love yourself? How much self-love do you have? And are you able to send love to yourself intentionally, energetically, like literally concentrating on your heart and going into your heart, breathing into your heart, breathing into your belly.
For me too, to hear.
Yeah, and how do you breathe on a day-to-day, moment-to-moment basis? Are you breathing right?
Holding your breath.
just learning how to breathe in a way that relaxes the body, gets your body into a relaxed and open state to be able to flow this sexual energy, to be able to mindfully send love to your own self and to your partner. And like it clicked on some major aha moments for me of ways that I had like become conditioned to really resist loving myself, or like really have difficulty in loving myself. Like I'm kind of feeling emotional right now because like I didn't even know that like all of that inability to like love myself was there, and to be able to like actually feel some of that sadness, or actually even just like shine a light on it and become aware that like, oh man, there's these parts of me that like really don't like myself very much, and I'm really uncomfortable with like trying to even love myself. Like I literally had no idea that was even there until like doing some of these exercises, and that was like huge for me. Absolutely huge, because if you can't, I mean, this is at the core of what we teach to our coaching clients. Like if you can't love yourself fully, it's very hard to find someone else who is able to reflect that love to you,
especially if you're trying to get them to fill a gap in the love that you're having a hard time giving yourself. It's not that you're always going to be perfect in that every day, but having the intention and the awareness of how you can love yourself more is a day-to-day practice. And I'm really proud of you, by the way, for sharing that and for doing this course, because it's like it takes a lot to like go past what you've been told all your life and try something completely different. Like it can just really send your whole ego and your mind for a loop, because there's a lot of ways that you're going to be challenged in this, especially as a man and as a partner. But since this is a program for men, like you are going to be challenged. You're going to have to push past resistance, push past things that might feel upsetting. I mean, there's different things that will come up, but on the other side of that is such a powerful freedom, such a powerful intimacy, connection, and really, I'm just powerful. Like, it takes a strength to show up for it, but it's absolutely worth it. And I do want to mention, this is for adults. There are examples in this that are like visual, and you will see it's tastefully done, but you will see there is nudity, you will see what is happening, so you can understand how to do these processes. So this is absolutely geared towards adults, and this is absolutely geared towards people who wouldn't be upset by that. But I have a feeling if you're watching this, then you would not be one of those people. And it's just really powerful. It's really awesome. And being able to see it does help, because you're getting an understanding of exactly what she's talking about, because first she'll explain those processes, and then you'll actually get to see it.
Men especially, fellas, if this is hitting any buttons for you, if this is piquing your interest at all, trust me, check out the link below and sign up for this course, because I promise you it will be transformative, it will be profound, and it will totally up-level your sexual experience. I can guarantee that. I can guarantee that. You are also helping to support us, because we are working alongside Jade with helping to get this material out. That being said, make sure you also hit the bell icon right now so that you get notifications whenever we post a video. Our next video will be an interview with Jade Lotus, the instructor of this course, which we had some amazing conversation.
Yeah, it's an awesome interview. And ladies, if you know a man who would benefit from taking this course, or you have a guy you'd like to do this course with, share this video with them, share the link with them, try it, and let us know what you think. We are so excited to hear about your experience with this. Definitely make sure you have that notification on so you know when we post the interview with Jade. You guys aren't going to want to miss it. And remember, we're now doing lives every Sunday. Last week we did a really powerful meditation for people who want to manifest deep soulful love in their lives. We got some awesome responses. We're going to figure out that super chat for anybody who wants to support us, to help us make this a more full-time thing, to help us grow, to help us get to that goal of 100,000 subscribers. Tell your mother, tell your friends, tell everyone. We want to get the word out. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you in the interview in the next video.
Peace.